Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The passage is Rag Asa, Mahalla Tija, Ashtpadiyan, Kar Athwan Kafi. So this is the Bani of the third Guru, Guru Amar Das, in the Rag Asa. It's an Ashtpadi composition of 8 stanzas to be sung to the 8th beat, Kar Athwan, and in the musical measure called Kafi. It's a literary genre. And the recitation. Ek onkar Sadgur Prasad Raga Samalla Tilja Ashtpadiyan Kar Athwan Kafi Gur te Sant Upajai Jin Trisna Agan Bujai Gur te naam paiye Vadi Vadiai Eko naam chet mere mana mere bhai Eko naam chet mere bhai Jagat jalanda dekh ke bhaj paye sarnai rahao Gur te gyan upajai maha tat bichara Gur te ghar dar paya bhakti bhare bhandara Gurmukh naam ਧਿਆਈਐ ਬੂਝੈ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭਗਤ ਸਲਾਹ ਹੈ ਅੰਤਰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਅਪਾਰਾ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਸੁਖ ਉਪਜੈ ਦੁਖ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਹਉਮੈ ਮਾਰੀਐ ਮਨ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਹੋਈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਮਿਲਿਐ ਆਪ ਗਿਆ ਤ੍ਰਿਭਵਨ ਸੋਜੀ ਪਾਈ निर्मल जोत पसर रही ज्योति जोत मिलाई पूरे गुर समझाया मत उत्तम होई अंतर शीतल शांत होए नामे सुख होई पूरा सतगुरु ताम मिलाए जान नदर करे किल विख पाप सब कटी है फिर दुख बिगन ना होई ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮੇ ਲਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਪਾਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਡਿਆਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਮੇ ਲਾਏ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਧਾਨ ਮਨ ਵਸਿਆ ਵਡਿਆਈ ਪਾਏ In praise of the Guru, the Satgur, the way, the method of the Gur. That is the central message here. Because we need the Gur to recall our true selves, to develop virtue. The connector is the Satgur. So Gur te Sant Upajai Jin Trisna Agan Bujai Gur te naam paiye Vadi Vadiai. So from the Guru, Gur te naam paiye, self-knowledge is obtained. Awareness of virtue is obtained from the Gur. And Gur te Sant Upajai Jin Trisna Agan Bujai. We tame the fire of desires. If you recall in the previous passage, we were talking about unchecked desire and how it can create inner conflict, kaleshas. That is why we need the guidance of the Gur. And the Rahao says, Eko naam chet mere pai, my brother, which is usually an address directed at the mind. Eko naam chet. Chet is to bring into memory, is to recall. So the Guru says, my mind, recall the self. Jagat jalanda dekh ke bhaj paye saranai. Jagat jalanda, the world is a flame. in the fire of desire, seeing that, find sanctuary, protection in self-knowledge. गुरते ज्ञान उपजे महातत्व बिचारा, गुरते घर दर पाया भक्ति परे भंडारा. So गुरते ज्ञान उपजे महातत्व बिचारा. Gyan. From the Guru, we obtain what we might refer to as gnosis, self-spiritual knowledge, which is the essence of all virtue, tat. And through that, you discover the core of your being as being the center of the self. Gurte kar dar paya bhakti pare bhandara. This is devotional worship. Gurmukh naam tyaiye bujhe vichara, Gurmukh bhakt salah hai antar sabad apara. So the bhakti that the Gurmukh, the Gur guided, are engaged in is Bhagat Salah hai, is dedicated to praise, devotion. That is the devotion of the Gurmukh. And so we've talked about this previously, that there are two primary things involved in bhakti on the path of Gurmat. One is Nam Tyaya, which is mental contemplation, bringing to the mind this vision of the self through great contemplative effort, transforming the mind. And the second is Bhagat Salah, living in adoration, living in praise of the self. So the two are repeated here. Gurmukh sukh upajai, dukh kade na hoi. Gurmukh haume mariye man nirmal hoi. So, through Gur wisdom, haume mariye, relinquish the self, dissolve the self, overcome the self. The self here meaning the ego self. Haume, ego consciousness. Man nirmal hui, the mind becomes pristine, because the sense of ego is really considered to be the impurity that distorts our perception. So if you can dissolve haume through good wisdom, then sukh upajai, great comfort will result, and you will never feel obstructed again. Satgur miliye aap gaya tribhavan soji pai, nirmal jyot pasar rahi jyoti jyot milai. This is a realization that comes by being on the path of the Satgur. Satgur miliye aap gaya, because you relinquish the self, the ego is shattered, and discernment of the world, true discernment, comes about. And what you realize is that the light is within you as it is without. And so a connection is made. The Supreme Being pervades, is present within and without. So by knowing yourself, you know the Supreme Soul. Pure gur samjhaya mat uttam hoi. Mat uttam. The intellect, the understanding becomes sublime. Antar sital sant hoye, nam mein sukh hoi, again with self-knowledge. Antar sital, tranquility, peace occurs within. Pura Satgur tam mile jaan nadar kare. So now here is the matter of intervention and grace. Pura Satgur tam mile. If only grace is bestowed by the perfect, by the complete Guru, knowledge, and by following its teachings, that we can avoid kilvik paap sab katiye. inner conflict. फिर दुख बिगन ना होए, and remove all obstacles in our way, if only grace works with us. अपने हाथ वड्याइयां दे नामे लाए, अपने हाथ, the self holds the key, holds the door, so to speak, in its own hand. Nanak naam nidhan manavasya vadiyai pai. So it is a gift. Naam is ultimately a gift from the self. So you see, at some stage, one has to relinquish all illusion of control, all illusion of self-effort, because ultimately it boils down to grace. And our devotion is really a calling out for grace, a begging for that grace to happen. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.